It's so good to be here. First of all, humble salutations to our beloved Acharya. Welcome everyone to our VT Seva annual general body meeting. Now, here is where we will pause to celebrate our immense impact on the underprivileged communities and our success in cultivating the youth volunteerism and leadership across the USA. Now, before we diving into the strategic vision of our services that are going to be coming year ahead. Now, here is a message from our Acharya. His Holiness sent this amazing message for our AGM. So I'll pause here for a few seconds to encourage everyone to take a brief moment to read these powerful words of inspiration from Swamiji.
Read it out if possible.
Absolutely, Arian. Our Mangalasasans to each and every one of you. As we gather for this annual general body meeting, we want to take a moment to profoundly appreciate the selfless service you render daily. Your unwavering dedication is the very foundation upon which VT Seva stands. From supporting the educational journeys of underprivileged children to illuminating the world for our visually challenged students, your compassion transforms lives. You are the hands that administer care through cancer awareness and prevention camps, and the swift support that offers solace and immediate relief to the communities impacted by natural calamities. The light of your selfless work shines brightly in both India and in communities worldwide. Remember this profound truth. The real measure of life is not what we accumulate, but what we contribute. Through giving, we truly gain. When we serve, we are not diminishing our resources. Rather, we are enriching our own lives with immense joy, peace, and spiritual growth. The act of giving is the truest path of gaining. May your hearts always be filled with inspiration to serve, and may our collective journeys continue to elevate humanity. These are very powerful words and true to what our mission stands for. Thank you, Swamiji, for continuing to be the architect for our vision and perennial inspiration. Now, most of you probably already know about what our core mission and vision are, but I want to take a few seconds to talk through this one. Our core mission, that is what we do, is mainly split into four main pillars. Under education, we focus on comprehensive care for both underprivileged and visually challenged children, ensuring that there is no child is left behind. And for health, our work includes preventive women's health initiatives, and under environmental pillar, we ensure that we are always there to deliver humanitarian aid and relief under natural calamities. And last but not the least is the youth empowerment. We teach youth across USA to find joy in giving back to the community, and by which we are inculcating the spirit of volunteerism and leadership. And coming to our vision, which is why we do it. Now, this is very driven by a deep-rooted culture of community service, a culture that we actively foster. Every person, regardless of the background, has access to quality education and healthcare. And this is something which has been constantly guided by our CEO, our Acharya, His Holiness. Now, this is the part where I'm really excited to share the results of what we did this year and how did we live up to our mission that we just stated. This is where I really sincerely wanted to thank our kind donors for their sustained commitment. Because of their unwavering support year after year, we can proudly say that every single child at both our Netra and GR Gurukulam schools will be fully empowered. Now, you have consistently provided the comprehensive programs and tools and resources they need, allowing them to truly focus on building their futures. So to all the branch directors who are working tirelessly day in, day out across USA, and all the donors, thank you for driving these fundraising initiatives to make this happen. This is one of our most innovative programs in the virtual connection between our USA youth volunteers and students in India. Now, these young leaders connect virtually almost every other day, to provide crucial English. The ESL stands for English as a Second Language. Now, these youth tutor our visually challenged students in Netra Vidyalaya in communication. Now, this is more than just the tutoring. It's a two-way street. A deep personal bonds are fostered across these children, and turning these volunteering activities into profound life-changing experiences. I've been part of these groups, and the interaction that they have is inspiring to see. They have conducted 180 sessions so far in the past 2 years, benefiting about 60 plus Netra Vidyalaya students in grades 6 through 8. Now, kudos to Srivani Garu, who has, taken up this project when I requested her to help us with, impromptu English coaching, like for these children when they visited Houston for the robotics program. So kudos to her for standing up this program and building this amazing interaction between these students. And also thank you to her team, ESL team, all the dedicated youth volunteers who do this magic. And special thanks to Supraja Garu and Sirisha Garu from Netra for running this at Netra Vidyalaya. Feeding Hope is an amazing program, which shows the incredible power of our donors utilizing their special occasions like birthdays or anniversaries for their service. Now, through this specific initiative, they've successfully sponsored a total of 400 days of essential meals for the underprivileged and visually challenged students. Now, if you're not aware of this program, I would strongly encourage you to check out our website. Now, this is a profound way to celebrate your special day to bring joy and happiness to these children. And special thanks to Vanita ji from Detroit and secretary for running this program so effectively and essentially. Now, this, as we just talked about, this year marked a significant moment, our 17-year milestone. We celebrated this at a powerful volunteer retreat in Dallas, Texas this year. I'm pretty sure a lot of people might have attended this one, from people who are attending this AGM. Now, why is this pause so crucial? Now, it is essential for any organization to stop and reflect on its journey for strengthening its foundation. We took the time to look back at our collective achievements and what a foundation it is. Like over 17 years, we have achieved extraordinary scale, over $15 million invested in communities, and an incredible 1 million plus volunteer hours logged in. But the retreat was also not about looking forward. No, it was designed to re-energize every leader, every volunteer as we prepare to unveil our ambitious plan, which is the Vision 2040, which you'll hear more about in the later slides. Now, this new vision is our commitment for our future growth. Our goal is massive, to empower about 20,000 youth leaders, securing the growth and continuity of VT Seva for decades to come. So thank you for everyone who made that possible. Now, one of the initiatives that we have taken last year is to be able to explore the other opportunities for us to be able to have public funding awards from CSR partners and open grant funding. I wanted to report on like how we are doing. Now, the key activities were to organize and apply for open call grants and that are relevant to VT Seva main causes, especially including the women's healthcare and education for the visually challenged and underprivileged. It's not easy as what initially has mentioned. There's a lot of work that is there, but at least from a 2025 outcomes, we have won a 30,000 in open call grant awards in 2025. We have updated 6 national nonprofit registries and NPO database for VT Seva. We have applied for 12 national grants, including the Moderna Foundation, Belinda Gates, for Women's Healthcare, Geico Foundational, HCL, United Healthcare, American South Asian Network, and others. Now, our 2026 goal is to apply for about 50 grants and generate about 100K in confirmed grant CSR awards. 2027 goal is to apply for 75 grants and generate about $250,000 in confirmed grant CSR awards. I would like to give a special call out to Rohit ji, who is the main person behind this one to run this program so efficiently. So thank you, Rohit ji, for doing this one. And we have a long way to go, but we are very confident that we'll be able to meet our goals in the coming years and maybe exceed it. Similar to grants, there is an investment that we made last year, which is RISE, to invest in the youth, which RISE stands for Representative, Inspiring, Strategic Evolution. And what we have done is listed down in 4 bullet points. The one is standardized youth governance. The focus is on leadership, consistency, and strength. So we recognized that to grow globally, we must standardize our operations. And this year, we successfully developed a national resource database. The impact is this work ensures that we have a consistent, strong pipeline of leadership and governance across all the chapters. So that's a work in progress that is happening. The second one is the amplifying the digital presence. Now, in a digital world that we live in, our visibility is our voice. We have conducted a very deep, comprehensive social media research and published this new marketing guidebook for our teams. So the impact is that our goal is the data-driven approach will significantly strengthen VT Seva digital footprint and improve the content alignment across all the branches and maybe across all the VT Seva chapters across the world. The third one is strategic fundraising foundation. Now, this is in continuity with what Rohit ji is driving, which is likely to continue our funding success. We are building internal capacity. The bullet represented here is the foundational work for our guidelines and organizational knowledge. The last and is the one which is called the building the alumni pipeline. Now, there are a lot of volunteers who come to VT Seva during their elementary, middle, and high school. But once they move on to the college and they get busy with their life. But we hope that we have planted that seed of compassion in their heart so that they come back, when they settle down in life and contribute back. Even if it is VT Seva or elsewhere, our goal is to be able to see how they can spread and continue the goodness what they have learned. So the program, which is launching in 2026, will actively connect our alumni with younger volunteers. Now, it is an investment for our future, ensuring the long-term community continuity. Now, these initiatives are very vital investments and transforming the way how VT Seva operates to ensure that every resource is used effectively and deliver powerful Seva global wise. Now, a few more accomplished to celebrate. VT Seva clubs, which is a very important part of what spreading the goodness of what we do into these schools across the United States. So far we have 37 high school clubs and 2 university clubs, translating compassion into the impact communities across the USA. I just missed on the RISE event in the previous slide. Kudos to Pranuti ji and her RISE team for doing that effective and transformative work. That's what she's driving for the RISE transformation. Coming back to VT Seva clubs, right? So kudos to all the chapter leads who are able to make inroads into establishing these clubs across the United States, across these schools. The second one is the digital library for the blind. Now, this is a continuation for the work that we've been doing for the past many years. But the ongoing digital library, we have successfully digitalized about 105 books with about 40,000 pages. And thanks to many volunteers, hundreds of volunteers, putting in about 3,000 hours of dedication. The third one is the Hearts for Heroes. This is a youth-led community appreciation. And now here, a lot of youth during a certain time of the day in summer, they go and thank the people who provide services to the communities, be it in the form of police or be it in the form of emergency services, fire services. We offer our gratitude for the selfless service that they do day in, day out. So this is a program that we do. The last one is the 17 annual events. Now, this is the lifeline for VT Seva missions. As we speak, in fact, there are 4 annual programs that will be happening this year. Now, this is where all the hundreds of our dedicated volunteers and thousands of donors come together to joyfully empower these visually challenged and underprivileged children and and the other sustainable support that they provide. So this is something that we proudly celebrate. The second one that I really wanted to highlight is the compassionate service and volunteering. Now, this slide I feel is a testament of the incredible engine that drives VT Seva, our dedicated volunteers across the USA. Now, this year, their commitment went far beyond just donating time. They successfully executed 615 unique events across the country. Now, I remember mentioning this a couple of years ago in the AGM that we used to have 365 events in a year. And we used to proudly say that, there goes no day in an entire year where not even one event is happening across the country. But this, we have doubled it, 615 unique events. So there's almost like two events for every day in an year that is happening that we are, putting in community effort. And the cumulative effort is profound. We have put in 61,000 hours of selfless commitment into our mission. Now, these thousands of hours and hundreds of events create a tangible and life-changing impact for communities that we serve in, truly embodying this in the spirit of compassion. Um, and this is where I request an applause from everyone. I don't think there is any other nonprofit organization that puts in so consistently the community service that we do across the country, not just one chapter, but 25 chapters across the United States is an amazing um, point to celebrate. So thank you for all these dedications that you do. Now, this is where I wanted to project about our digital outreach. As you are seeing, we have crossed 2 million views in our Facebook. The content creations have increased 400% since last year. Every year we think we are doing good, but every year we exceed our goals far beyond. And the way in which how our digital footprint which is very essential during this digital age is to be able to consistently provide um, provide quality information where people are able to reflect on, or even have a glance of what we do, where the attention span is very limited. Both in Instagram, what we have done as a part of our digital footprint growth is in Instagram, in Facebook, in LinkedIn, and in X, is what we promote our services. So thank you for doing this. Kudos to Priyaji from the communications team and her communication team who are doing this amazing job. Every time I request for something, she outperforms for what she has done last time. So thank you, Priyaji, for doing this one. And these are some of the other youth leadership initiatives that I wanted to highlight. VT Career Compass, Harish Ji, I wanted to give kudos to Harish Ji, who drives our Career Compass program. Now he has invited professionals across tech, finance, healthcare, government to expose students to diverse career paths. Now, this is something that we are giving back to the youth, and for them to helping them with what career paths they can choose for. The second one is fueling our volunteer force. When volunteers come and sign up for our services, we don't just lead them. We, first of all, acknowledge them and thank them to come forward for, doing this communities for volunteering service. This year, we have welcomed 900 plus volunteers. So our youth leaders and Harishi drove this growth, conducting youth-led orientation meetings to ensure that every member is equipped with whatever tools that they need to turning their passion for Seva. And this is very important, for everyone to acknowledge the volunteers and provide them with the tools. We need to ensure that they are equipped with right tools and knowledge for them to be able to provide services. The last one is PVSA awards. Thank you for all the dedications from our volunteers. Last year, we were able to provide 262 Presidential Volunteer Service Awards. Now, I know things have changed this year where our president, not the VT Seva president, but president of US, has decided to not stop or pause the PVSA awards. But what we are continuing to do is to provide VT Seva awards equally or even more than what the presidential awards is valued for. So that is something what we'll be working for. This is an important slide that I wanted to connect for the goal that we have in 2026. Now, this is where I wanted to highlight about the services that our UK team are doing. Now, this is a UK wing for VT Seva. They are doing really good in expanding the services into the UK community. Anu Sadhyaji is the current UK president, the UK VT Seva president over there, and they have consistently outperformed themselves in the form of like volunteer service awards, hours, and the donations, and partnering with like multiple organizations across the UK, like to expand into the services, into the community services, what they've been doing. We'll talk more about that later. The next one is I also wanted to highlight the services that Australia team has been doing under the banner of Jet Helping Hands. Now they started back in 2018. They have been doing consistently outperforming themselves every year, starting from 2018 to 2025. And this year, they've officially launched the food truck and the delivery van with the support and representations from the local, state, and the federal government and police. I was able to attend that event, and I saw a lot of state representatives like coming in and providing the support. And at least the goal for next year is to be anticipated revenue generation of 100K and the following year to 200K. So Satyajit, if you're in the call, thank you for driving this across Australia. And there are like multiple partners over there. But I've been working with Satyajit for the past few months. Now, so that is for what we have done in 2025. Now, I also wanted to highlight on what our key initiatives for 2026. Our key initiatives, so RISE, like now our investment in RISE is critical. Now, this initiative is not just on the program, but it's actively building the crucial platform for our youth to step up and lead VT Seva in the future. This is like a direct investment into the next generation, which is very important for VT Seva. Now, equally important is our success for grants initiative. So this is very essential for securing the critical resources we need. So this will be our initiative, continuing to initiative in 2026. This is a very important goal that I've got blessings from His Holiness to be continuing this one. So this is a strategic focus is to build a single cohesive global brand for VT Seva. This means that ensuring that all the service activities worldwide, including the great work done in UK and Australia, are rendered under this one unified name. Now, why is this strategy absolutely vital? Because having one global image directly amplifying our recognition and credibility on the international stage. So a unified brand maximizes the collective impact of our services everywhere, ensuring that our effort for our branch benefits the visibility and, more importantly, the fundraising potential for all others. So what we personally feel is the unification will solidify VT Seva reputation as a powerful and single global force for the good. So this is something like what we'll be doing for next year. This is securing the future, which is the leadership for 2040 vision, as I was mentioning. Now we are officially beginning the planning for our ambitious 2040 vision. Now this involves a strategic expanding impact of our local projects right here in the US. It is important for us to be able to recognize that when the next generation comes in, the local community matters for them a lot more. So our goal is to be able to see how we slowly shift the slide in taking up more activities here in the US. So most critically, this entire effort is dedicated in preparing the next generation leaders and ensuring that the VT Seva mission remains intact wherever the services are being done and thriving for more decades to come in. So this ultimate investment is for our organization's sustainability and future local impacts. Now, this is something like what we are very proud to take in, the life-saving pillar of prevention. As you probably already know, under the banner of Mahila Arogya Vikas, led by Srimati Madhavi Ravindra ji, we have so far screened about benefited about 3.6 million women by providing education, awareness, and also screening for breast and cervical cancer in rural parts of India. And what our goal for this year is driven by the vision by our Acharya, our foundational commitment to our health. We are planning to partner with Mahila Arogya Vikas team and conduct 200 medical camps in 2026, which is in delivering the essential screening and early detection. So this will be led by Archana ji from Bay Area and also Madhavi Ravindran ji from India. A few other key initiatives that I wanted to highlight. This one is called Vaidyalaya Seva. Now, we must first address a crisis that touches the basic human dignity, the lack of clean, functional restrooms in many government hospitals, which is particularly devastating for women. In the past many years, we have built in hundreds of toilets in Coimbatore, Chennai, in other parts of Tamil Nadu. And what we thought was this is something what is also essential in different parts of India. Now, there is a program that is being done by Abhigna ji from India, Vikas Tarangini team. This is a pilot program that she has done for over an year. And what our goal is to be able to dedicate it to building or restoring or repairing the vital infrastructure, specifically toilets, in 70 different government hospitals. We're taking this as 70 projects. You know why 70? I hope everyone knows why 70. But this is a comprehensive effort. Beyond the infrastructure, we'll also be providing the essential patient support, such as serving foods for the patients and their families, and ensuring there is a holistic approach to care. Now, this large-scale effort will be strategically led by Sumanaji from USA in partnering with Abhignaji from India, and to ensure its success and accountability. The next one is the fueling the future. Now, our future demands relentless innovation. We are not standing still, and this year we wanted to take the strategic steps to amplify our mission. First is we are launching a strategic brand refresh to forge a single, powerful global identity for VT Seva, making our presence very clear and unified wherever that we operate. Second, we are also amplifying our reach dramatically through compelling stories of hope. Now, this is a series that will be allowing our profound impact to resonate globally. And most critically, we are empowering our next generation leadership through innovation and youth innovation challenge. The key initiative we'll be funding the best volunteer-driven ideas across our core pillars. Now, ensuring our mission remains dynamic, innovative, and limitless. So this will be led by Divya ji here from US in coordination with many other teams, RISE team, Grants team, youth team, and all that. This is a goal that we have taken. So we are launching a very critical new initiative focused on empowering futures. Now, this is a career field navigation program. Is a 3-month free guidance services for our community. It serves both the youth for career exploration and early resume building, and for adults for job who are in between the job transitions and layoffs and resume strengthening. This will be led by Bhavishya Lingamji, now who is a 23-year expert and the current Amazon talent acquisition professional, now ensuring that the participants get a very clear, modern, and relevant guidance. Now, the goal is very simple. It is to provide clarity, confidence, and job search skills, now turning their passions into professional services. Now, this is a vital investment for our long-term success for our community members. As you can see, this is a very critical need for the community at this point of time, with so many job eliminations that are happening across the US. So this is a step that we have taken. And thank you to Bhavishya ji, if you're in the call, please acknowledge for helping us and leading this initiative. Sustaining momentum. So what this means is we must sustain and amplify our growth. This means that regardless of how many strategic investments or visions that you have, there's always tactical work, groundwork that needs a relentless focus. So this year, our tactical goals are centered on expansion and stability. We will be expanding our outreach activities to engage in new schools and clubs to grow our volunteer base. We are also dedicated to strengthening our support for existing branches, ensuring that every chapter has resource they need. Now, the branch directors are strong only if we provide the ground support, ensuring that they have all the tools that they need for them to be able to successful. And it is very important for the executive team to be that enabler for the branch directors to be able to make their job easy. So we'll be actively forging on also partnerships to leverage new resources and expertise. So this tactical work ties back to two outcomes, which is to achieving the operational excellence, and also most importantly is to foster the profound joy and fulfillment in every act of service that we render. So that is something that we're continuing to do it regardless of what we do. So this are so talking about sustainability, right? To meet the expanding scale of our mission, we need to keep exploring new ideas, bring in new resources who are able to continue the work that the previous leaders have put in. So and now here are the few bold changes that are being proposed. With that, we wanted to thank the previous owners or previous leaders who are able to do an amazing job in helping continuing this vision and mission of VT Seva. So the first proposal is Anita Mantanji. Now she is proposed as the Atlanta branch director, who will be replacing Dr. Madhuji, who has done an amazing job in building Atlanta from almost ground zero to the stage in which it is right now. So first, thank you, Madhuji, for being this amazing leader that you are, and also helping transition to the next leader. So welcome, Anita ji, for for being part of this. The second one is Neelima Rompichedla Garu, who will be the Minnesota branch director. She'll be replacing Srivani Garu, who has done an amazing job in continuing the services what Minnesota team has been doing for many years. She is built apart from doing being the branch director and doing the amazing job she has done. She also led the ESL program, built that along with the youth in Minnesota and many other teams. So thank you for doing this and welcome, Nilima Garu. The third one is Buchibabu Garu, who is going to be Cincinnati branch director. Now, Buchibabu Garu will be replacing Aparna Garu. Aparna ji has been the branch director for Cincinnati team and did amazingly well in regards to doing their first annual event last year, Vikas, and continuing the services. As a matter of fact, they're having their Vikas as we speak in a couple of hours. So thank you, Aparna ji, for doing this, and also welcome Buchibabu Garu for being the Cincinnati branch director. And the fourth one is Kavita Andegaru. She will be replacing Sweta ji from the North Jersey team. So earlier there used to be one New Jersey branch. Now that has split into North Jersey and the New Jersey team. And Anjani Garu laid the foundation for the Parsippany branch, which is the North Jersey team. And they have done amazingly well. They are the silent killers. They do an amazing job in doing their annual events and doing their volunteering activities in the North Jersey team. So Kavita ji will be replacing Sweta Garu and for being the North Jersey branch director. When I say replace, all we are trying to do is change the caps. The previous branch directors will not be going anywhere. They will be continuing their services, but under a different title. And that is the beauty of VT Seva. All we are trying to do is give opportunities for others to come up with their own ideas and continuing this one. The fifth one is Madhuji. Now, Madhuji has done an amazing job in Atlanta. We didn't want to let her go, so we wanted to leverage the experiences and what she has built in, and she will be our National Youth Director. Now, she will be replacing Pranati, who has been our National Youth Director since last 2 years, and done amazing job in trying to bring in all the youth directors across the United States. A youth director plays a very important role along with the branch director, which is to be able to be that motivator, guide, and provide the guidance for the youth in across all the chapters. So Madhuji will be taking over that role and bringing in all her experience in amplifying our youth services across all the chapters. So welcome on board, Madhu Garu, and thank you, Praniti, for doing an amazing job what you have been doing. And the last but not least is Upender ji. Upender ji, the proposal is to replace me, and I've been here for a long time and never stop talking. But Upender ji will be our presidential fellow, which means that he will be following, shadowing me for the next 1 year to be able to, be the next VT Seva president role in the next years to come. Upender ji is the current Seattle branch director, an amazing person to work with. Now he has taken VT Seva Seattle, to from one level to another level in the last 2 years. And one of the most humblest person that I've ever seen, who is always about achieving the results with a smile. And I have full confidence in Upenderji of how he is able to transform the Seattle team. He'll be able to also work with like all the 25 chapters across the United States and amplify this multifold. Investing in Upenderji for this. So welcome Upenderji for considering our request. So with that, I would like to request like if anyone can second these proposals.
Yes, Kiranji.
Second.
Awesome. Thank you. Now here is where I'll stop and I will hand over it to Rajiv ji. Our treasurer. Rajiv ji, if you can please unmute.
Thank you, Kiranji. Jai Sri Manarayana. Humble salutations to our beloved Acharya and hello everyone. I am Rajiv Bandi and it's my privilege to serve as a VT Seva treasurer. Today I will go through the financials for 2025. Our total funds raised for this year till November 30th, 2025 has reached to $1,249,030.15. As shown in the first bar chart. This figure excludes December fundraising efforts from our four annual events and pending matching funds from corporates. We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our generous donors, dedicated leaders who made this possible. The chart on the right illustrates our unavoidable expenses, including fundraising expenses, organizational operations, website maintenance, and tax compliance. This year, our fundraising expenses are a little bit higher when compared to last year, and this is due to the VT Seva retreat that was held in Dallas, Texas in month of June of this year. As we realized, the funds for our annual events, corporate matching, and last-minute donations, our projections are promising. It's worth nothing that VT Seva is one of the few volunteer-driven organizations in the country with 100% impact and 0% overheads. Next slide, please. The pie chart represents the corporate donations we received. We appreciate the vital role these companies play in supporting their employees' contributions. Our goal is to increase this segment significantly each year and maximize the matching opportunities. In the pie chart, we could not accommodate all the companies due to space restrictions. So we took top 25 companies donated towards corporate matching. There are a total of 118 companies this year matched so far to the employee contributions, rewards program, employee incentive program, and for the volunteer hours. Finally, I would like to assure that all our transactions undergo rigorous auditing by an independent auditing agency to ensure compliance with IRS and federal laws. Thank you for your attention, and I will hand it over to Santiji for concluding remarks.
Yeah, 1 second, Rajiv. So as you have noticed, right, we had to combine a lot of companies into the other section that you see as an yellow pie chart. What we wanted to signify is that the importance of corporate funding. Now, this is a free money if you're working for any organization. All you have to do is, ensure that when you do your donation, check with your company to see if they're able to match this. Every dollar is, almost instantaneously doubled when you reach out to your company and ask them to, see if they can match it. If they're not already matched, now as a part of the CSR initiative, as a part of the initiative, every major company, every company will be doing a matching. Even if it's not 1-to-1 match, it will be sometimes 1 to 50 match. So my request to all the donors, all the people who are present here, is to ensure that you check with your company to make sure we are not leaving any dollars on the table. This is very essential for us to be able to grow and provide the services that we are doing for a lot of activities. So thank you for everyone who are able to do this amazing. We were able to almost raise $100,000 from just one single company, and we are planning to invest in this growth more as we come by. Shantiji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Rajiv Garu. Thank you, Kiranji. Jai Sriman Narayana. Humble salutations to His Holiness. As we reflect on the breadth of our service this year, I want to acknowledge the diligence, integrity with which we operate. Every initiative you are seeing here, every pound of food that we have donated, every step we took for cancer awareness is carried out in full alignment with our organizational bylaws. In fact, we have thoughtfully updated our bylaws this year to reflect both our current realities and our evolving alignment. We conduct all these VT Seva activities with integrity, and we operate them in compliance with federal, state, and IRS rules. We don't do this alone. We are deeply grateful to our partner organizations across the country, whether it is crafting 100,000 flowers for disabled veterans or collaborating with food banks to distribute thousands of pounds of food. Our impact is always multiplied through these trusted relationships. This slide is a tribute to that spirit of collaboration. Each logo represents a mission we've supported, a community we have uplifted, and a shared commitment to service. And now, with hearts full of gratitude, let's witness a video showcasing our volunteer activities, a celebration of every hand that served, every smile that was sparked, and every moment that brought us close together to our collective purpose. Go ahead, Kiranji. Such a lovely video, isn't it? Thank you for each and every volunteer, donor, partner who made this journey so impactful. With deep gratitude, we invite our CEO, His Holiness Sri Swamiji, to bless us with his message. Jai Shriman Narayana.
Just 1 second. I would really call out, there are 4 events that are happening, but one event is being conducted even without the presence of the branch director over there, and that is the New Jersey Vasantam event that is happening. Wanted to shout out to Jamuna ji for single-handedly leading this, along with a lot of volunteers in New Jersey for conducting their Vasantam event. Now, this is an example of how leaders just stand up when there is an absence in there with their passion to be able to give back. So thank you for doing that. Sorry. I miss calling that out. Jai Shri.
Thank you, Kiranji. Jai Shriman Narayana Swamiji. Over to you.
Jai Shriman Narayana to you all. Vanaras in thousands of millions, able to make a very, very powerful bridge between Bharat and Lanka within just 5 days. Many millions of years have been passed, but still the bridge remains so strong. Even today, people wanted to break the bridge using very highly sophisticated, powerful bridges, but they couldn't do it. The history became pretty much strongly rooted for the generations to come. Our VT Seva and Jet USA volunteers are still powerful than those Vanaras, making very strong bridges, not just one bridge. Through their pillars, they are making very, very powerful bridges, and many donors, many volunteers, and tireless organizers. Everyone is putting one's own energy and effort in making this bridge of service very, very strong. My heartfelt Mangala Sasranams to all these donors, all these volunteers, and all these organizers. And your effort in making this bridge of service is very, very powerful. Though started as a very humble, small organization, but in a short span of time, with almost zero administrative expenditure, you are able to make a very, very strong impact in the society. Take it in the cultural preservation, take it in education, take it in healthcare, take it in youth empowerment, or take it in meeting, in uplifting the uncared, downtrodden, in bringing them up at par with the rest of the society. Every activity that you have taken is really remarkable. The question comes, how? with zero administrative cost. You are able to do all these things. There are two reasons. One, it is all the volunteers and organizers who are filled up with spirit and overwhelmed with zeal and able to inspire everybody to put their might in making the things happen, whether it is administrative activity or real activity in the ground. And second thing is, interestingly, there are so many donors who are specifying specific causes to be executed, like health, education, or meeting with the requirements of the needy, or some disaster management, or any kind of empowerment, etc. But still, there are good-hearted, generous donors who never specify any cause, but they are good enough in supporting any kind of activity. Such kind of generous general funds are taken for any kind of expenditure that is required for the administration. But whatever is given for any specific cause is very much focused only to be put in that activity, and thus 100% is reaching the end user. That is how our JET USA and our VT Seva are able to make a very strong impact in the society through their relentless activities. And we appreciate the efforts they are putting and the inspiration the leaders are providing, and the good-hearted volunteers are responding to the call and putting their efforts. So many blessings to all of them, all of you, for making a change in the service arena itself. We are really inspired by seeing so many activities presented so far on this screen, and of course, in the real field also. Each activity is great by itself. Each activity is filled with strong commitment, and each service is really motivating hundreds and thousands of people in coming forward. VT Seva started spreading her wings into other parts of the world. It started into UK, into Australia, and also in other parts. It is slowly spreading now into Canada as well. Our Mangalasasanams to all those volunteers there in other parts who are taking these activities and started spreading the message of organization VT Seva and standing for volunteerism. I'm sure, as Sriman Kiranji rightly mentioned, it is very much important to speak out what you are really standing for and what you are really doing. So far, we believed just in doing, not in speaking out, and not in just, banging our own drum. But we realized that it is also very important to speak out what you are doing, not just for any self-portrayal, but it is to encourage the supporters and also to invite new people who are trying to do something for good cause. They need to understand, and for which the branding is very much needed. For branding, you need to have a consistent logo. And as Kiranji felt, let's have a single logo globally and go with it wherever we put forward our foot and wherever we invite and involve people for good causes. And let this journey go on a single logo, single path, so that we can make a good impact. Other thing is to provide a kind of encouragement, recognition for the volunteers who are extending their services. It's very interesting so far that in US, we used to have some medals provided by the White House, though they are purchased, but given as an encouragement to add their own credibility. Let the policies change, it doesn't matter. But the encouragement should go even in future. We have two organizations like JET and VT Seva. Of course, though the goal is the same, to meet with the requirements of the society, whether it is a spiritual, whether it is a social, whether it is a cultural, or whether it is something done by nature. We need to just meet with the requirements. When organizations vary, recognition of their own also varies, isn't it? Obviously. So, JET wants to have something with their own logo. VT Seva wants to give something with their own logo. It's a good thing. But what we feel, if we have something branding even for that, just like for any organization, for any service they do, I think the US government was providing only one type of logos for everybody, for every activity. So also, how it would be if we design one memento following the system like a gold, silver, and bronze, but a common logo for all. anybody who does any kind of service, why can't we provide something so that this logo, this memento becomes a mark of their sincere effort and serious service? I think probably we have to think on this so that we can provide a single memento for all, even for VT. So let us think of it. And other thing is, this year we are inviting a new president to VT Seva, Mr. Upendra, in the place of Shriman Kiranji. And of course, Kiranji now will have more responsibility in working not only with VT Seva in USA, but to make stronger roots for VT Seva across the world. I think for which, whatever the time he is sparing so far, I think may be increased. And he has to now brainstorm for more hours to deal with people. And I'm sure that his energy now is very much limited to VT USA only. But his energy is, I feel, pretty much illimitable. And I'm sure now the arena provided for him to work with all the units of the world, and say that it's Canada, maybe it is in UK or in Australia. And also this year, when we visited Germany and Netherlands, people there are also very much interested in participating and conducting events and activities there. But we have to work a little bit more there so that we can find better people and better activities as well, catering the local needs. I think now Kiran taking the role as the international coordinator for activities of our organizations at large, I'm sure that he'll be able to make powerful platforms across the world so that the message of volunteerism, the service for good causes, will be spread properly. I'm sure that you all understand that service is not just having one side, it has both the side. The first side is the physical service, whatever we do, meeting with their requirements for social survival and for growth in the society. But at the same time, when we see the other side of the coin, to meet with their inner requirements, like their spiritual aspirations and their inner, what we call that as the humanly requirements. We being the humans have more responsibility than other creatures, to work with so many things. I think that is the other part. So we have to cater both the things, and whatever the social requirement and whatever what we call as the spiritual requirements, how best we'll be able to provide them, and in what cup we have to deliver that for the people to experience and enjoy. This is where probably we need to work, and for which a proper base should be created. And of course, I'm sure that all our senior advisors like Aparnaji and our Krishnakant, and of course our senior most advisors like Sharmaji, etc., will be able to support our ideology in forming the systems and executing them. Because when we are looking forward for 2040, how we want to focus ourselves. Many good initiatives are being taken now in US. At times, we feel that in Bharat, we are still lagging so much behind. But now our current president, Shriman Jagdishwarji, is making the teams more strong and building the ideas one after the other so that we can create a very, very strong foundation and base even here. And probably we can see the results in just a few months. I'm very happy that a good team is being built up by him to go ahead with proper activities. But it is Mr. Kiran's initiative probably makes very strong impact. In Bharat now, as we just heard from Sriman Kiranji, good initiatives are proposed, for sometimes an execution makes a little bit difficult. When we are just landing on the ground to work with the people to show some impact of our services, then we feel that there are certain challenges. Like last time when we were meeting, we discussed about some schools and water projects to be conducted in some areas. But as you understand, to start some school, we need clearances from the local governments, and the local people also should come forward, right? So these are becoming a bit challenges because of the changing systems here with the policies of the local governments. It is like when there are continuously elections coming, then people are carried away. When festivals are coming, people are carried away. So the school proposals, what we made, are just lying there. They did not actually took place so far. And water initiatives also we proposed are also still pending with the people. But keeping both of them aside, because now because of the changing governments, they are trying to provide some kind of education to the people in the remote areas as well, where people are more attracted towards that. I'd like to take a small example just for sake of understanding. We started a school for the fishermen community in a place called Katarivanpalam. It was running so well. Though there is another government school locally, but many people used to attend, many children are attending Our school and parents were pretty happy. Government changed. And then the government said, those who join the government school, they get 15,000. The parents will get 15,000, not the children. And the result was all the students from the school joined that governmental school because of the parents' insistence. And then we forced to close the school. Though all the parents came to us to revive the school, but they don't want to join the students in our schools because the government is giving money to them. What would be the result? Is the education or only the money for only the time being till the government changes? But people are innocent and they are very much allured with the temporary perks. These kind of things make our activities to just, go with a slow pace at times. But when the real situation, they also understand. And again, our need will be there to see that the gaps are to be filled there for those people. So we are trying, of course. Now, keeping that school project and the water project aside, a new project has been taken up to hand, that is working with the hospitals. This seemed to be more important and really useful. Our one of the volunteers, a responsible volunteers, Abhignya, who took up a task to feed the supporters, the attendants of the patients from the maternity hospitals, and did wonderful service for 1 long year with no break in between, even for a single day, and almost serving 60,000 plus people. No single issue there, no complaint, and no any kind of remark on the service. And people are happy. The hospital is happy. And of course, our service is done very well. Taking this as an inspiration, the very old and big maternity hospital, which is nearby the High Court, approached our people to do some kind of service to them. And when our people went there and observed that the toilets, some kind of problem, there were almost 160 toilets in that big hospital. It is 600 bedded hospital. And in that, when our people observed, only 60 to 80 toilets are in operation. Rest of the toilets are in no operation. They are totally spoiled. Even with the working toilets, sometimes there are no doors, not even curtains. Sometimes pipes are damaged, closets are bad, something like that. So our president and Abhignya, they went, noted down all the things, and they called for the quotations from the people who are able to deliver proper goods. And the estimation has taken for the work that has to be done. And more or less about 40 to 50 lakhs of rupees estimation has come to make them properly functional in a single hospital. It's for just one hospital. But that is a bigger hospital. There are many other hospitals, of course, not having that much of bigger size. So they are smaller. So it is, I think, probably felt because they are maternity hospitals, and most of the people at the middle class and lower class will go only to such kind of hospitals. Corporate hospitals are attended by the people who are able to afford. But otherwise, the common people only prefer these hospitals to be reached. And it is always advised to work on those hospitals to see that minimum facilities are to be provided to those people who admit in the hospitals for maternity services, because they are very key. So the first project is being taken. Our president met with the hospital authorities. What we need to understand here, it is not they spending the money. It is our organizations are spending the money and the services given by us and good facilities created for them. But still, the authority of the hospital, probably, I think, is a lady. She is very much scared to give an okay letter to us. What we call that MOU to us. She was not able to come forward saying, if I give a letter, my senior authorities may fire me from this place, for services we are providing to them. So our president said, don't worry, and we will take care of the higher authorities. And then he met with the DMO, Director of Medical Authorities, medical officer. And he is now trying to get an MOU and an instruction from them to the hospital so that the hospital can say, okay, go ahead for our activity. So my friends, why I have taken this story for you is to understand the ground realities where though we are spending, though we are working and creating a facility to XYZ, but even for that, there needed certain OKs and sanctions from the higher ups. Otherwise, the higher ups may get upset. Very recently, something happened, though it is out of place for us, but I think it is interesting for us to understand. Recently, there was a lady collector appointed to a district in North India. She joined, and in 3 months, when she was just going around on her trips to the district, she found that there is a place, a village, where there's no water. And people have to go somewhere to pick the water for their regular usages. It's in UP, And the collector felt it is so sad, and she wanted to do something. She contacted some donors, and she brought the money, brought the machinery, dug a nice borewell, water came up, and all the village people felt overjoyous. And then they were just dancing and singing and enjoying. And even the lady collector were not able to resist. She also just joined and just, danced with all the people. Can you imagine the result? She was immediately transferred to some other place. The reason is very simple. It is because she never felt about the other things, because the people are in need and she wanted to do something. She did with good heart, with not using the governmental resources, but identifying some donor and identifying some working people and made the whole thing happen. That's all she did with good intention. But the local MLA was upset with her because he was not invited to switch on the boring pump so that people can drink the water. And she, because is providing some kind of service, probably she might have taken it for granted because it's a good service for the people. Let it happen. Need not give any kind of pain to other higher ups. That was probably her intention. I don't know. But when she just forgot inviting the MLA and giving the whole credit to him to be there and see that work is done, and she was moved from that place to some other place. I don't want to comment whether it is a good act or bad act. But what I want our system here is something like that. Though we want to do something good, but there are so many other things which we have to understand and meet with. Sometimes they may happen, sometimes they may not happen. So whatever that we think of doing, think of providing services to people, I think may have some kind of, the opposite currents, which we have to meet with. But with regard to the tribal education which we are providing, it is so interesting because there are no higher ups there to put any kind of nose into their activity. And in Bisaipet, in Allampalli, we are able to provide many services there to the students. We have a wonderful secretary there, Mr. Pani, and who was very much active, who is very dynamic. And there is a donor came to provide some compound wall to Bisaipet. And he came up with 40 lakhs of contribution for that compound wall. And the work started. And our Paniji made a wonderful graphical presentation of how the work is going on, how much work is going on, how fast the work is going on. And the report was given to them on a fortnightly basis, seeing which the donor was pretty happy. And he said, we are giving CSR funds to so many organizations so far, but nobody gave this much of better reporting. And then he said, what more you want? And our funny said, the 40 lakhs what you have given are not enough to complete the compound wall, so we need approximately 80 lakhs. And the donor came immediately forward, and he's just sanctioned 80 lakhs, and the compound wall is completed. And then he said, what more can I do? And then he came up with some more activity there for some kind of classrooms, sanctioned. And then he said, what more you need? He said, we need some kind of a playground. And we want to just make some kind of, the other arrangements for their cooking facilities, etc. And he said, yes. And then the fund, of course, they were not giving directly to organization. No. whoever is really doing the work in the ground, they used to pay only to those people, but we are only a facilitator. They come on a regular basis, see the work progress, and see that how people are doing, and then go back and then send the money to those working people. That is how it was going. And then they said, okay, you are doing a really good job. So what can more we do? Then he showed the Allampalli school also. Initially, actually, he said with Allampalli, but they said, no, we are not interested in that. And they're confined to Birsapet. But then he showed that Allampalli. And after seeing that, they said, oh, this is a really needed place for the activity. And he said, of course. But when I gave the proposal, you said no. Oh, okay, sorry. So we do now for this something. And then he said, there are some teachers' quarters needed. So if you are interested, you can provide them. So they came forward immediately. And then now the organization who came forward to contribute 40 lakhs of rupees, now they are giving almost 3.5 crores for both the schools to provide all kinds of services. And what I felt, this is the impact if we really communicate to the donors. Of course, our Jet USA and VT Seva are regularly communicating with the donors about the activities through their newsletter. But my point is something here for all of us. Though newsletter makes definitely impact, a wonderful impact, but communicating to them in person, probably a personal letter, makes still more impact. I am sure that donors are also supporting with their matching grants. Keeping the matching grant part aside, just when you understand that one X is a donor, let us give a message to them in writing that how we are using their funds for any kind of cause. A personal letter to all the donors. When I saw that the impact of what Paniji was able to do with regard to the tribal schools, from 40 to 3.5, it is really unbelievable, isn't it? That how many times? 8 times. More than what they have promised. And recently, when we were in Chennai, because the donor is from Chennai, and we met with the donor, we went to his home, and he was very much pleased. And he said, let us continue our relationship in future service activities. That's how he himself came forward. So, if we give a letter to each of the donors that this is how it is used, I think they feel satisfied, number one. And then they feel like joining in future services as well. Our Kiranji is very much a target-oriented person, because whenever we talk to him, he not only comes out with the figures, facts of the activities, but also he comes with targets. I think the same with all our VT branch directors and also branch coordinators of different roles. He doesn't leave anybody. He doesn't sleep, and he never allows to sleep also. He always drives them to reach their targets, but he never pains anybody. With a nice smiling face, always with a nice advices and working strategies. He guides them. That is how from zero, the VT Seva is able to show her impact in the society with the 25 branches. Each one is dynamic. Each one is doing some kind of service. And there's no one is idle. There's no one is sitting lazy. And he makes everyone to just, run with the gallop hands. It's really great. And when he talks about the targets, when he talks about the figures, we always feel, what a kind of, thirst he has in doing the service activities. It's good and it is needed. But my suggestion is now, if we start writing personal letters to all of those people, I think the thirst of what Mr. Kiran had, I think will be satiated to a little extent. What do you say, Kiranji?
Absolutely, Arian. We are nothing but your tools and all the,
Not able to hear.
Now? Am I audible?
Yes.
Arian, it's all your grace, Arian. We are nothing but your tools. On any work that we are doing, it's your tool that you're sharpening, Arian.
So it's really nice. Let us start even the same strategy with our JET USA as well. Because many people contribute, and of course we inform them about the activities. They feel so happy. And fundamentally, they have a kind of confidence in your organizations that you won't misuse the funds. That confidence is making them to come forward every year with their generous contributions. And that's how we are able to just, expand our wings with so many activities. And it is our basic responsibility to make them also feel so happy by a letter addressed personally. If at all there are any kind of anonymous contributions, that's okay. But otherwise, let's make them feel happy by a personal address. And this year, of course, we have now the target of 70 hospitals in our hand to work with. And the first hospital work is going to start because 2 contractors were already connected, and they will choose one person or probably divide the work to both of them, because it's a working maternity hospital. We can't hold them. And so probably dividing the work into 2 teams, 2 groups, and giving them probably makes the work to finish at a faster rate, because each one is giving minimum 2 to 3 months of time to finish the job. But 2 months, 3 months is too a long period in a hospital environment. And but they both are reasonably good people. So we want to see that it is cut down to at least 50% of its time, so that we can deliver the hospital back to them at a faster rate. This is one thing. I think this kind of exercise is now conducted in every government hospital to provide more services to those hospitals and make them really empowered with the amenities to the visiting patients. So this is one activity. This is being now targeted. And now there is a pending work, that is what our USA suggested, a couple of years before, to make our children play goal ball. And now a stadium is constructed in Varija, Visakhapatnam, which is probably declared as one of the world smartest cities, right? And now the more focus is on that city. And the construction of the goalball stadium is almost completed. Probably during the Jan, the first game will be played in that hall. And now in our Netra school and college, some students are selected for goalball. Some teams are preparing themselves for the cricket teams. And probably, if possible, during the coming March or April, our Netra may host a national cricket team for blinds in Hyderabad somewhere. So, of course, that will be decided soon and will be announced for everybody. And otherwise, the activities are very inspiring, whatever the presentation given by our VT Seva. Of course, they are always inspiring. And we felt so happy for the strong urge you people have in promoting services across the world. And also our JET USA teams who are working very hard and in promoting so many service activities, like in taking care of the students, taking care of the service activities, etc. And we offer our Mangala Sasanams to one and all for making this year very, very dynamic. As our VT Seva presented their statements, they said, they are still in the negative. Negativity always shows the progression. You are able to spend more than what you collect. That means your activities are pretty strong. So this is very interesting and very attractive. And I'm sure that before end of this month, you'll be able to just break even and make it more viable, and so that you can enter the new year with good energies.
Again, it is Jet USA that is in negative, not VT.
I know
Okay.
Kiranji will take it seriously.
Okay. Of course, VT Seva is always, in a progressive state. I'm happy with it. But actually, we have to raise for your aspirations. But Jet USA is also doing very good. That's what I say. Because they are working with the Statue of Union. They are also working with so many other activities, like, creating a new center in New Jersey, in Jersey City. And of course, for our VT Seva, so far, there are no overheads, like, creating an offices or making them.
No employees.
No
No
employees,
employees.
no overheads, etc. All that responsibility is shared with the Jet USA, so nothing to worry about it.
Big sister.
Not yet, idea.
We are all very inclusive audience. Jet is like a global.
That's more encouraging for all of us. because we, so far as the working system and service providing is concerned, we never felt that we are different organizations. Whenever there is a service needed, we are all together. Whatever the service is needed, we are all together. But we have to meet with certain requirements, and we have to fulfill certain norms, and we strictly follow those things and make them 100% perfect. That we found in the reports of both our organizations, JET and also VT Seva. So for that, I am so happy and appreciating all of the organizers, for making the systems very clean, clear, and meeting with all the compliances required to be met. So we offer our Mangala Sasanams, and for our 2026, we feel that at least 1 month of time is to be given to USA for JET USA and for VT Seva activities. And it may be started from June 16th or so. We start our activity there in US, and probably it will be for more or less 1 month. And meanwhile, we, of course, started a retreat program for this year, and that we can continue for the next year. And as the Bay Area is very much interested in conducting that retreat for the 26th, and if you say yes, let us have the Bay Area as our next retreat center. And that Nirva people, who of course once invited us in Atlanta, are interested to invite us for this year to their function, and probably it may take place in Boston. So if time permits, we also go there. And our Sanjeevani is waiting for Hanuman to appear in a real form for all of us. And in Canada, though we are supposed to go this year, but we could not go for some other reasons. And we may go to Canada also to start our VT Seva activities there in Canada, and strengthen our JET activities also in Canada. So keeping all these things in view, the next year, we in 2026, from June 16th most possibly, and up to July 12th or 14th, so we may have our program there in US. So let us all prepare for that and present our activities in more attractive way for everybody who is interested in. But my point is, for the future years, let us not make a tour as we go to every place. Let us select one location and have everybody there. Let VT Seva be there, let JET USA be there, let all centers join there, so that we can share our ideas, we can present in a better way, so that the people will have a good impact on their hearts, so that they can also talk about the activities. So let us think about these things, but still there is time for us. And for this 2025, which ultimately comes to 9, all of you, VT Seva, JET USA, made it really, really dynamic and eternal. You matched the number of Ramanuja Swami, and your activities also were conducted like that. And many new things are also added. And so many new feathers are added to the organization. Some new changes of the roles are also announced now by our Kiranji. And I am very happy for those who laid the stronger foundations for the future. And I welcome all those new team members so that they can play their roles very well, and so that they can also make powerful impacts on the society through great service activities. And especially our heartfelt congratulations to all the youth who made all our activities. Maybe it is RISE or with VT Seva different activities, and all our senior Prajna activities now taken up by the alumni of the Prajna in joining the classes and conducting the events. Our Mangala Sasanams to all the youth who came forward, forming teams and building up the society with real, stronger energy of volunteerism. Mangala Sasanams to all once again, and from 16th onwards, Dhanurmasam is coming for all of us, a very powerful month to enrich our inner energies to more heights. And if possible, we feel like conducting some half an hour session talking about the Tirupavai also online for all of us. It may happen, I think probably in the evenings to us here, and daytime for you there. But it is it will be announced, of course, in a couple of days, for all of you. Though it is asked for, but we'll decide it. And most possibly, we meet with you all during the Dhanurmasam with Andal for mostly half an hour every day, if you are okay. Right? And I'm very, very happy. Many, many Mangala Sasanams to you all once again for wonderful things that you are all doing, and providing a lot of strength to us. And let this become a trend, and let this sect grow. Let our teams spread their wings to encompass many more volunteers into our teams so that we can show much more impact. Jai Shri Mannarayan to you all.
Jai Shri Narayana.
Jai Seva Narayana. Can I request Swamiji to lead us with the closing prayers? Ending prayer.
Is anybody wants to add anything here among the participants?
Let's unmute everyone.
Webinar. Yeah, only the webinar panel can talk, Adiyan, at this time.
Good. So, should we conclude with a prayer?
Yes, Adiyan. Thank you.
That's good. Om Purnamidam Purnamadaha Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। जय श्रीमन्नारायण।
Jai Shri Narayana.
Jai Shriman Narayan.
Jai Shriman.